Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. So we've got a lot of really exciting updates to share, and sorry for the delay, but we do have a lot of information to share, so please stick around till the end. We'll have a Q&A once we're done, but we'll also be collecting your questions as we go through our go through our talk. So please feel free to join our Slido and enter the code 922 in order to send us your questions. So with that out of the way, welcome to CS Club's first ever event of 2021, our Get Involved event. My name is Jasmine, and along with some other UW CS Club members, we're going to be sharing some details into our plans for the term. This is going to include our events, reaching out, or how we plan to reach out to the community, our design overhaul, and information on how you can contribute and join if you're interested. A quick note on that, actually, if you want to join CS Club, you can visit our Get Started page, which is shown on the screen, or you can take a look at the slides to see our simple steps to join. So if you notice, this process doesn't have any club fees, so you can actually sign up for free. But MathSoc is still deciding whether to waive our club fee for the term. This means even though you can join for free now, you might still have to pay $2 later in the term to keep using our services. And now, without making you wait any longer, let's hear about our plans and goals for the term.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully I can be heard. Thank you, Jasmine, for that introduction. My name is Lena, and I'll be talking about CS Club's plans for the winter 2021 term and our rebranded vibes that we're hoping to bring this term. So the big emphasis in this upcoming term for most of our events will be community. And so how are we going to go about that? We're looking at mainly two ways. So one is supporting one another. And let's start with the fact that computer science is a pretty big program. We've got a lot of students and a lot of different subsets of programs, such as software engineering, CFM, which is computing and financial management, a double degree, and our general CS kits. So with that large community comes a lot of diversity whether it be the interests that we have, the backgrounds that we come from, and so forth, which is great because we get the opportunity to meet a lot of different people. So the Computer Science Club last term was discussing about how we kind of lack a platform that serves just the general computer science population. And so we are hoping to bring forward some events that help every computer science student with their journey, whether it's looking for co-op or getting through school, because we all do follow at least a core program. And so we're going to do this by bringing you guys some insider scoop events. Now, what does that mean? That may involve a lot of tips and tricks that you would pick up along the way during your degree, but a lot of times these tips and tricks you can get from our upper year students who have gone down similar paths as you. And one of our events like this is our upcoming event this Thursday, Res 135, which you guys should totally check out. That's going to go over some tips and tricks about Waterloo Works and your co-op applications. So we're also excited to see you guys there. And Gordon will also talk about some upcoming events after my little spiel. And the next point I'm going to talk about is connecting with others. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in first year, which was last year, and we were, still in person, didn't fear sitting next to each other and possibly contracting coronavirus, it was a little tricky to make friends. My biggest worry coming into computer science was that it's such a big program. The classes such as Math 137, they were pretty big, and I'd go into class, I wouldn't sit with anyone I really knew, and I'd walk out, which it's a little lonely, and it's definitely much harder now that the extra barrier is added that we're online. And I can imagine that it is a little more intimidating for a lot of you out there to reach out to people and reach out to new people specifically, because coming into a new university program, one of the most exciting things is meeting people with similar interests as you. And the Computer Science Club really wants to give a platform and an opportunity for all of us to support each other and meet one another and support each other in all our endeavors, whether they're tech related or not. And we want to do this by bringing forward some more social events, so possibly game nights, talk series about mental health, which is something that we don't get to touch on very much. The identity of being a CS student, what does it mean to be a CS student? Because this definition is super subjective along the spectrum, and it's different for everyone. And we all have different experiences going through this program, even though we are all under computer science. And such events like this. And just a quick heads up, our target audience is computer science students, but everyone is welcome to our events. We are online, so we would totally be honored if anyone came to our events, and hopefully they help you guys out and bring you guys together. And so I'm just going to finish off my little part with talking about the services that Computer Science Club offers. One of the main ones is web hosting resources, which is really awesome. So when you become a member, you can use our stuff to possibly host your own website. The CS Club Wiki, which actually I just learned about this past term. It's really informative, really cool. You should totally check it out, because I definitely need to get more into depth into it. It's a really good resource. And machine accounts. So there's actually quite a couple more resources. And if you'd like more details, please visit the Computer Science Club website and look under the tab services. And so without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Gordon, and he's going to talk a little more in depth about our upcoming events.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lena. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, I'm online. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lena. That was a really great little spiel you gave. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of our goals and kind of the direction we're trying to move in for 2021 and moving forward. Yeah, so let's just get into the upcoming events. Like Lena mentioned, Res 135, it's happening this Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. And the goal of this event is really to give you guys kind of a nice little summary on Waterloo Works tips. We'll be critiquing some resumes, and we're really going to try to help you prepare for this upcoming job hunt, because like we all know, it's a really stressful time, and with all the changes happening to Waterloo Works and co-op in general, we're really hoping to help you out at this event. So yeah, make sure you drop by if you can. And we have a registration link actually, bit.ly/UWCS Club -res 135 sign up, as you can see on your screen. If you sign up there, you can submit your resume to get critiqued live anonymously, don't worry. Or you can also sign up for some offline email feedback, which the exec team will just be going over. So yeah, make sure you do that. That's on Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Make sure you're there. We also have a Tech Interview 101. So this will be hosted sometime near the end of the first Waterloo Works cycle. And our goal here is to really break down the software engineering interview process. We'll provide some example questions, some example solutions, how to approach problems, as well as tips on how to prepare for these types of interviews and these types of problems. We don't have a final date for that yet, but keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned. We will have more details on that ASAP. Cool. So next up, a goal that we are really emphasizing this year, like Lena said, is to connect the entire CS community at Waterloo. And we intend on hosting a lot more community engagement events. And what this means is events like these will not be aimed on the technical side of things. They won't be focused on that. There'll be things like game nights and talks and other interactive events that can help the community, get together. So last term we actually hosted a trivia night, and that was really successful and it was a lot of fun. So maybe we might bring that back this term as well. Other options that we're considering are also like Scribble.io nights, Among Us, if that's still popular and everyone still wants to play. Maybe small groups of Jackbox and breakout rooms, something like that. If you guys have suggestions, please let us know. We also have, um, like Lena mentioned, the speaker series where we want to tackle some topics about mental health. So that's like dealing with imposter syndrome, how to recover from a failing course, stuff like this, how to break down stereotypes of a CS student to see how you do fit into this program and how you do have a place. So yeah, the goal of these series is to really provide maybe a different perspective or more insight on these problems, and hopefully if you're dealing with them, then we'll help you deal with them. So yeah, they're going to be a little more intimate, but that's kind of the goal. And we'll also be running, we'll continue to run the CS Club Classics, such as Alt Tab, which is kind of like a lightning talk round where you get to, if you haven't had experience before, this is a great chance to really try public speaking, just like a little informative talk. And the event is welcome to everyone, so make sure you guys drop by. Yeah, we have a Google form that will be open for the entire term. As you can see on your screen, it's a survey at bit.ly/UWCS Club-feedback. So this form is the easiest way for you to have input onto what we're up to. And we really encourage everyone to share any ideas that they have. And also at the end of all our events, including this one, we will have a feedback form, and filling that out lets us know how our event did. So what went well, what didn't, and it really does help us continuously improve and tailor our events to what you guys really enjoy. So yeah, make sure you guys follow us on social media to stay up to date with our events. You can also check out our Google Calendar, and you can add it to your own calendar as well, which you can find on our website under the Events tab. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll pass it on to Stephen, who will talk about our website. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Gordon. I'm now going to transcend the bounds of Zoom and leave the border of the screen. The delay earlier was due to me transferring the stream key. I just minimize. Sorry. Oh dear. I don't want to exit anything. Okay. Yes, so the reason for the delay earlier... Oh no! Now I'm all over the screen. There we go. Sorry. I had to switch stream keys and all the scenes in OBS were lost. So there was a quick reconstruction. Anyway, you didn't come to hear about OBS technical problems. You came to hear about CSC rebranding, which we are happy to tell you about. The next part is our website revamp. We're really excited about this. With the advent of sort of more online interactions happening right now, it is of the utmost importance to us to provide a good online sort of channel of for information, a sort of front-facing space for Computer Science Club that wasn't the office and MC, and just an all-around better experience for anyone who wants to get involved with CSC or is already a member. So you can see here the purpose. I've already sort of mentioned improved distribution of information. And the next sort of big thing that's already been touched on earlier in the stream is we want to make CS Club more approachable to sort of the broader CS community. In the past, it may have sort of been more focused on technical elements and learning hard skills and talking about kind of experience of like the actual practice of computer science, which is terrific. But we want to expand this and sort of welcome a larger audience of people. So that's kind of one of the big focuses we're going to have while doing this redesign, keeping that at the front of mind. And also with this sort of upcoming term, we have set the goal to host more events and increase community involvement, this being one of them, and Res 135 coming up and more in the future. And we want to provide a better sort of listing of these events and a way that you can go and see everything that's going on, so you're not missing out on anything exciting. So those are kind of the core drivers for this new site. And also, like I recall earlier earlier in the term, I was showing the site to a family member of mine, and they say like, "Wait, aren't computer scientists supposed to be good web designers?" I was like, "Yes, that's true. Not that the site isn't well designed, but we could definitely go for a reskin on it." So that's very exciting too. And it's not something that's going to be contained just within the CSC exec landscape. It is something that we're going to put out to everyone in the computer science community at Waterloo. If you want to get involved in working on this new website revamp, we'd be happy to have your applications. And we're really excited to work with a number of you on making the site really incredible. So you can see the links there to apply, not only for the website, but for other roles that will be open and available for application this term within CSC. And Callan's going to speak more about those next. So thank you very much. I'm going to pass it on to Callan.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Stephen, for introducing the website. That segues nicely onto our next topic. So we have roles. First, I'm Callan, and I've been helping lead the new initiatives in the past term, and I'm here to tell you how you can help us for the following terms. First, if you haven't joined the club already, go back to the first slide or our website and join the club. Then if you want to get more involved, we do have openings for the website redesign and our program committee. First, I'll talk about the program committee. So the program committee is in charge of organizing initiatives and bringing resources and support to over 2,000 students at Waterloo. We first have event coordinators. Event coordinators spearhead events that basically foster a community. They work with the marketing coordinators and graphic designers. You're going to basically be brainstorming and executing event ideas throughout the term. You're going to be in charge of managing event logistics and content, figuring out who the speakers are, contacting participants, and just making sure that everything functions as a whole. So for this term, you're definitely going to be using some sort of streaming service such as Twitch or a meeting service like Zoom. And yeah, that's basically what the event coordinators do. Moving on to marketing coordinators, your role is crucial for us. And you'll basically be getting our events out there. Your task is to educate and excite the student community about CS Club and our events. You're basically going to be the POC, the point of contact for other organizations, and arranging emails, reminders, forms, and posting a lot of content for us. As for Discord moderators, initiators, you'll be building a thriving and inclusive online community for the CS Discord. You're going to be organizing hangout sessions, helping events that run on Discord, and managing channels, and just overall creating a nice inclusive environment for everyone to hang out. Next, we have first and second year reps. So you guys will be super, super important because you'll be the point of contact between the overarching CS community and your graduating class. Throughout the term, we're going to be having a lot of events, and you'll be working alongside event coordinators and marketing coordinators to bring event ideas to your class. You'll be in charge of voicing any concerns or ideas on behalf of the students in your class. And last but not least, we have our graphic designers. So you're basically the bread and butter to what CS Club looks like as a whole. We're looking to really rebrand and have a completely new aesthetic, and that would be your job to help us get there. You're going to be creating beautiful, visually appealing graphics for our marketing team and our social media. And as well, this role can also roll over to website media as you create banners and images used in our new redesign. Now, I'll talk about website redesign roles. So regarding the website, we have 3 categories of roles: engineering, design, and product managing. As well as the graphic designer who would be involved as well. So with engineering, we're going to have a tech lead. And as a tech lead, you're going to manage a team of developers. And you're going to finalize engineering decisions and practices. You're going to be in charge of setting reasonable deadlines for the engineering team and enforcing project longevity through code reviews. The backend and front-end developers are going to be the main technical contributors to the CS Club site. Your work is basically needed anytime we have any new events. Front-end developers will most likely be using JavaScript and other web languages in order to create a functional UI stylized by the designers. And you're going to be working closely with the backend developers. So the backend developers will also be looking to build a data pipeline to load website content and working with front-end developers. Next, we'd have design. So the lead designer will basically manage a team of designers and shed insight onto design decisions and practices. You're going to be coordinating the designer team and working towards a unified design, maintaining our brand vision. The other UI, UX designers are going to be working with the graphic designer to create flows and visuals that improve usability and quality. You're definitely going to be creating mocks of pages for the website and curating the flow of the user experience. Lastly, we have the product manager. So you're going to be helping us scope and prioritize the work of the team. You're going to be determining timelines based on the work presented, and your task is basically to align the high-level purpose of the website redesign and to make sure that everyone's working effectively. So yeah, if you see anything that appeals to you, please go back and read the roles that we have listed. I've included 2 links here. So if you wanted to apply, you can go to bit.ly/UW-CS-Club-apply. And if you wanted to read more about the roles, then the link's up as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Callan, for sharing information about our roles and along with amazing descriptions about what each role will be doing. So now it's time for our Q&A. In order to participate, if you haven't already, head over to our Slido and enter the code 922 to send us your questions. So I'm going to start with some questions that were sent to us through the Google form, but please feel free to send us your question over on Slido. I'll be checking that as well so that we can get any questions you guys have answered. The first question is, can I help with building the website? Yeah, for sure. You just have to fill out the form that was mentioned a bit earlier. These slides will be shared so you can go back and check out the link from there. But yeah, so you just have to fill out our application form and then we can start the process from there. The next question is, does Computer Science Club have designated exec roles that we can apply for, or is anyone able to help out? So yeah, does anyone else want to take this, or?
Do you want me to answer it?
I mean, sure.
I can take it. We do have designated election roles, I think. Those are coming out in the next few days. Those are open to CS Club members, which is why everyone should definitely join within a couple days. Elections are starting this week, I think, like the official roles. But we do have the program committee roles, which are in charge of events, and these are not official, so they're not with the actual official electoral system, but they'll be working under the VP and whoever is coordinating events. Hopefully that answers that.
All right. Yeah, I think that should answer that question. And then moving over to the questions asked on Slido. So the first one is there an interview process for these roles?
Yeah, I can also grab that. So yes, basically the process will go as you apply and we'll take a look at your portfolio, we'll take a look at your resume, and then we'll select people. And if you're selected, you'll go through one screening with one of us and a CS Club exec and someone who is experienced in your role. So if you're signing up for design, you'll be going through a more design specific screening. And then after that, we'll contact you based on results.
Yeah, that sounds great. So one of the questions is, what if we don't have a walk card? most of our roles, or in order to attend our events, you don't necessarily have to be a UW like CS student. Because these events are held online, you can join like if you do go to like other schools. However, in order to be part of our committee, you do have to be a like UW student. So I don't think you need a walk card. I don't know how that process would have happened considering things are online, like if you guys would have gotten walk cards or not. But as long as you have like your student number or like your quest ID, that's all we would need to verify that you actually go to UW in order to help participate in our website or the program committee. So I hope that answers that question. What are will there be multiple positions for a backend developer? If so, will there be training or mentoring for the role?
Yeah, I could take this. I'm not going to switch my scene to the camera because it's going to throw me into the void. So just bear with me here. There will probably be there'll be a technical lead like for the development side of things. So and they'll be kind of involved in a bit of the backend process. But for like explicitly and backend developer, we're thinking like 1 to 3 depending on the needs of the project, which will be scoped out in the weeks to come. And then with respect to mentoring, we're looking to get a technical lead with a fair amount of experience. And there's also a number of people on the CSC exec team who will also be contributing to the site, who have some good knowledge to impart. So both through the tech lead and other CSC exec peers, there will definitely be mentorship opportunities.
All right, sounds good. So related to that question, so this is for front end and back end devs. What sort of skill level are we looking for, and can beginners apply? I guess,
You
Stephen,
wanna
if you want to
take this,
take that.
Stephen?
For sure. So with regards to skill level, if you've had any sort of experience working with HTML, CSS, JS, like really that's the barrier to entry here. We're not working with any super complicated stacks. At least like the website as of right now hasn't been altered for like more than a decade. So the tech stack is fairly rudimentary. However, we're of course looking to improve it. So that means bringing in hopefully some modern development conveniences. But for the most part, yeah, just HTML and CSS is a bare minimum. Beginners are definitely welcome to apply. And the best thing you can do is just showcase something that you worked on, even just involving that tech stack. So like a simple static site you put together, that would be terrific in helping us gauge sort of your experience and abilities. Hope that helps.
All right, so moving on to the next question, what motivated the redesign of the website?
I can take this if no one else wants to.
Yeah, go for it,
Yeah.
Gordon.
Yeah, so I remember sometime last term, like this is just my personal, I guess, story. I was curious to know what like CS Club was up to, and so I went on their website, or I like tried Googling them and to see what's up, and I found their website, and I just thought it was like really old and outdated. I felt like there was a lot of information that students would be looking for, but it was kind of difficult to, I guess, find it all, and it wasn't really presented in the nicest way as well, especially now with like all the front end frameworks that we have. Like there's a lot of beautiful websites out there, and I just felt like this didn't really represent CS Club the best that it could. So I started talking with the team here as well as the people on like the other people on CS Club, and we really decided that it is time for a redesign. It is time for like a breath of fresh air. We really wanted to kind of along with this energizing of our goal of connecting all of CS Club, we felt like this website would also just add a new kind of face to the club, which we thought would be really good. So that's kind of what happened with the redesign. That's also why we're really looking for a motivated designer who can help us kind of design the website and also just the brand that CS Club has in general. So yeah, that's the main reason for our redesign. We just feel like the website's a little old and it could definitely use like a nice little kick. So good question.
Thanks, Gordon. Sorry, did I cut anyone off? All right. I guess moving to the next question. So this is a comment. Or actually, sorry. Okay, the next question. What are execs versus the program committee? Or I guess like what are like the computer science club execs versus like, program committee versus
I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about this, but as far as I know, don't quote me on this. I think definitely reach out to the actual CS Club execs of this term or last term to talk about this. But as far as I know, I think the official exec roles, they have their role descriptions on the site as well, but they're definitely in charge of different things. I think the program committee is more so in charge of kind of like the community aspect, events that are being planned, and new things that are coming. I think the VP specifically, maybe. I think the VP is in charge of events and also the program committee as well. But the other official roles have just other responsibilities that are not related to events. That's kind of the biggest distinguishing point, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna hop in on this question. From my understanding, I think like the exec team, they work pretty closely with each other, and they kind of share a lot of the responsibilities regardless. So they definitely work as like a big unit, and they're responsible for like like communicating with Mastoc, for example, and kind of like the fee that was mentioned earlier. Like the execs have to deal with that. Program committee runs underneath the execs and are kind of like assigned roles, so the execs can assign who they want, or I guess now like who's applying and who we decided is the best fit to join the program committee. And the program committee will encompass like pretty much everything we were talking about earlier, from like program manager to designer to developers. Like all of those people will fit under program committee. Yeah, there's like not too much a distinction. One is it's an like elected official, I guess. To become a CS Club exec, you'll have to run for it, which I think that will be happening sometime soon. But program committee, you can either talk to one of the execs and they can, if there's room for you, maybe they can add you in, or apply to CS Club, UWCS Club -apply, that link. Just check that one out. Yeah.
Yeah, quick following comment. Yeah, the kind of structure of this with like the official execs versus the program committee, it is new. Before, the program committee did not like all these roles that Callum was talking about, like the website roles and the event coordinators and marketing coordinators and whatnot related to events. This is new coming into this term, so potentially subject to change, and yeah, there'll definitely be more clarity brought through as like we push this, like these new initiatives and kind of this these new roles into place. So yes, please bear with us, but please absolutely apply. This is a really great opportunity to be part of like kind of a quote unquote clean slate. And yeah, you can also like help shape this stuff because it's not set in stone. I'd say, at least in my opinion, we're still, working out the kinks and the hiccups to this. But yeah, we're really excited to move forward with these extra roles. Yes, please apply. We really would like to work with a lot of you guys.
Yeah, thanks everyone for answering that question. Yeah, it's like great to, or sorry. Okay, moving on to like other to the next question. So, a lot of these are asking about the tech stack, and there's like a bunch of questions about it, so I'm just gonna squash it into one question, which is like what our tech stack for the website is going to be. I'm pretty sure this is like subject to change, as Stephen did mention that the current stack is relative or is like fairly old. So depending, I think, okay, so this is something that, correct me if I'm wrong, we like the people that do get like appointed to work on the website, they can um, like collaborate and like decide on a tech stack that they think they should use going forward. If they decide to do a complete like revamp of the architecture for the website.
I
But that's my
I can maybe help
okay.
sort of fill in the gaps on this. Thanks, Jasmine.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You're totally right. Yeah. So as of right now, our sort of primary focus, or uh, like most likely outcome, is that we'll go with some sort of modern static site generator, such as Jekyll, which lets you use templating language and fill it in with injected content for, in our case, things like events and announcements. Um, if need be, we'll go with something along the more like modern framework side, like Next.js, like something with React or Angular, something along those lines. But it's always important to say, like, what do we really need for this project? And in this case, we think we'll be able to get by with a static site generator, which is not to say we're settling for it. It's to say we think that's the right solution as of now. That could change, though, as Jasmine mentioned. And that's why we're going to bring on fellow developers to consult with and reach a conclusion that we're all happy with and excited to move forward with. Yeah, so static generator for now. If that needs to be changed, we're flexible and we'll change it.
All right, so sticking with the website theme, what is like the approximate time commitment needed for those like us appointed to work on the website redesign? I guess.
I can
guess.
take this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now it's not like 100% set what the time commitments are. It also depends on the kind of applicants we get and the amount of experience they have. However, I'd say at this point a rough estimate, a handful of hours every week. It won't be a full-time commitment by any means. And if it's too much of a commitment for anyone, we're not trying to hold people to like extreme expectations. This is supposed to be something to kind of collaborate on in a enjoyable environment. We're not going to expel someone if they're not meeting a quota. So yeah, but expect if 5 or so hours a week, maybe. That's, I'd say, at a higher end. We're hoping it won't be too involved or too demanding on you.
All right, so sticking with or moving on to more like backend questions related to the website, if we are deciding to go for a like static generator, as Stephen had mentioned, what would be the purpose of having a backend developer, and would like, or what type of backend experience is required for that?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a slightly blurry line when it comes to that, but we definitely need to have someone working on the method of like piping in event data and announcement data into the site template, because that's not like the way it's structured now will likely need to change. So that will be a considerable amount of work. There's also work that needs to be put into the build process, because as of right now, there isn't really a great way of building it locally on your machine. And I don't say that to try and scare away devs. I say it to try and bring people in to make something nice to work with. And it's a good opportunity for like creating effective build chains, which is something I think is not like right at the front of Waterloo works, but it's a big part of web development that needs to be addressed. So yeah, backend devs will be working on like the data pipeline, actually injecting data to the template, and then also the build chain for sort of working on features as a dev and then building it to a production ready site. Yeah, that's also why I said we aren't 100% sure how many devs we're going to need and what time commitment right now, because yeah, it depends sort of where exactly we land on technical implementation details, but that's sort of the general idea as it stands right now.
All right. So then, like moving back to interview related questions, will our interview be a technical interview with like leak code style questions, or will it be more like soft skill based for the website redesign, like technical roles?
I can take this one. I don't believe we'll be giving like leak code technical interviews. We'll mostly be looking at your portfolio for that. I think most of the screening will probably be just us trying to figure out how you're going to work with us and kind of like your, I don't know, intrapersonal skills. And yeah, they'll probably be behavioral and just seeing how you work with the team.
All right. So, wow, there's a lot of or like a lot of these questions have been like website based. So are there plans for the new website to have new features, or are we just looking to make it look nicer and better organized? So again, like I guess sticking to the theme, like nothing's been like set in stone for the website yet. So this is something that perhaps the product manager, when they're scoping out like features that they would like for the design, or when the designers are um like like creating the layouts on Figma, like this could be some like a discussion that's had once the team has been like appointed. um and nothing, again, like nothing's like set in stone. So if there is a new feature that um or like you guys decide that it would be nice to have on the CS Club website, or if there's a feature that like is on the website that we don't need anymore, then like it would be completely fair to like potentially remove that. So yeah, like nothing set in stone, and there's a lot that you guys can even like hop on and like contribute to or make changes to. So of what's one of the questions is, what's your favorite CS course? Um, I am not qualified to answer this because I've taken like 3.
And we
Um,
all answer it. I think we should all answer with our favorite CS course.
Yes.
We've taken so far.
Mine's
Agreed.
probably like 246 because I don't know. I feel like that's the one I've taken that's actually qualifies to be a CS course and isn't just like one of the baby ones in like first year. But yeah, that would be my answer.
I second that. I'm also in Jasmine's year. I think 246, I have to kind of give them a little credit because they're kind of the reason why I have my current co-op, because I was quizzed on object-oriented programming. So get excited for 246. It's a good time. Kind of depends on what your group is like, but anywho.
Yeah, I'm seeing Little Crying Man in chat saying 241. We're agreeing on a lot tonight. Crying Man 241 is excellent, especially taught by Carmen. Compilers is like one of the most thrilling courses, which sounds totally oxymoronic. But yeah, like going into like it was sort of the missing link between like hardware architecture and programming, and like that was a really cool thing to kind of fill in. Yeah, so 241's got to be it for me.
I think 241 was really fun. I also agree that 246 was really fun. I think 350 OS, taught by Leslie, was really enjoyable, more than I thought it would be. Lots of bugs, lots of lots of time spent programming and trying to like fix things and then redo things. But I think overall it was like a really fun experience, kind of building like a mini OS from like beginning to end. That was kind of neat. So yeah, definitely recommend 350. Yeah.
I'd actually pick the mix of your answers. So like I like compilers. So 241 was blessed. Yeah, but I'd actually say instead of 246, if you haven't gone there yet, you should take 246E. Because 246E with like Lushman, oh, it was the best course of my life. It was great. So, but yeah, anyways, biased.
No, may I add also, just for e-courses, you guys actually get to see your marmoset like tests and see how many you passed. When I switched over from the advanced to just 246, I realized we don't get to see them. And you just have to hope that your test suite is rigid and you didn't miss out on edge cases. So second that if you can. take those e-courses. They can be really challenging, but like really rewarding and really fun. Also, like even if you're a little scared, I'd give it a try. I'm someone who definitely, I would not see myself taking advanced courses, but I'm very, very glad I did first year. So yeah, try it. And worst comes to worst, you drop back down.
Yeah, I think for advanced courses, there's like a longer period for like dropping out too, so you're a little safer. But
Yeah, for
it is
first
fun.
year. Yeah, first year for sure.
Take them. Anyways.
I'm going to add one more notable mention. It's a fourth year course, CS 449, Human Computer Interaction. It's not really your typical like CS course. There's no programming at all. It's for people that are interested in design and kind of building a product from scratch. So when I took it, I took it online in the summer, and it's basically you're given like a prompt, and then you design some sort of app or some sort of product around it. You come up with a bunch of mock-ups and you have a final presentation. It's a big group project. Like the entire course is just a big group project. And yeah, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. So if you're interested in like design and like app design and stuff like that, definitely check that one out.
Thanks everyone for like giving input on like our favorite courses. So moving into some non like CS course questions, which I think there's one or two. So what does a product manager do? So just like a really quick answer to this, if you head over to our like Google Doc that's like CSC slash roles, you'll be able to see a description of all of our roles, and like there'll be an in-depth description of our product manager role. So hopefully that can help answer your question. And then there's another question about how many event coordinators do we have? I think it's probably going to be one or two, but I guess Callan can answer this better.
We'll see. I think 1 to 3. Currently, we usually have 1 or 2 event coordinators per event. But if we host more events like simultaneously, we'll probably need more. I think 1 to 3 is a good estimate. Yeah.
All right, so our final question for the night is a question for Stephen. What kind of data do we need to pipe to the front end that we would need a backend for? Sorry, I don't know why that was hard to read.
Yes, right now it's structured in like their own XML objects, but there's a big possibility we may try and do like a large refactor to make it something more sustainable, whether that be another text data format or a database even. So yeah, depending on if we just leave that as XML, there won't be a large amount of effort involved in that data pipeline. But yeah, if we change that, there could be a considerable amount of work involved in that. So that's why we listed it, just in case that ends up occurring.
Thanks, Stephen, for answering that. And that's also the end of our Q&A. So just to add in some shameless promo, we have our Res 135 event coming up this Thursday at 7 p.m. It'll be hosted right here on our Twitch. So come on out to check out how you can navigate Waterloo Works, especially if it's your first time doing so. I was just on there today and there's like 800 jobs. And like, even though I'd like gone through that before, I was like, wait, how do I go through this again? So if you're overwhelmed like I was this morning, feel free to come on out and learn how to work through Waterloo Works and create a resume that sets you up for success. So with that all said, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday, and we wish you all the best for this term, whether you are on co-op or in school or just chilling. But thanks a bunch, guys, and see you on Thursday.